Hey everybody, before we get into this week's episode of the B&B with Stephanie Berger, very excited for you to listen to that. I just wanted to issue a really big thanks at the top of this podcast. I had the pleasure of going out to San Francisco for the recent live event, which was an unbelievable amount of fun. Really fun episode, really fun podcast, and getting the chance to meet so many people, especially those who talk about how they listen to the B&B. They love all the malarkey that Liana and I have been doing for 8 years now. It really means a lot. Whether you play the games along, whether you just marvel at our sheer stupidity, or somewhere in between, it means the world to know that people get an enjoyment out of talking about some of the more ridiculous things that a show that we love so dearly has to offer. So thank you all again for everyone who came out and got the chance to meet, got the chance to talk with. Especially, I had so many great conversations out there. And of course, huge thank you to Rob for putting on one hell of a live show. Definitely one for the books. But all that being said, we've got a merge episode to talk about. So without further ado, here's this week's B&B with Stephanie. Hi, everybody, and welcome to the RHAP B&B for week 7 of Survivor 49. My name is Mike Bloom. I am back after a delightful whirlwind of a trip over to San Francisco.
My God, yeah.
Hell yeah. But we are back to talk about a very different unification, not of the RHAP community and Survivor community out in the Bay Area, but of our 3 tribes, as we are capital M merged at this
Capital M.
For now. We might talk about that later on. That maybe it's only a temporary exercise, but for now, we're going to break down this final 11 vote. Dare I say, Liana, Boraas, the most interesting merge vote we've had in the new era so far?
I think it's definitely up for discussion. I think that, we have been talking about this impending Hina Uli war, and we got the first shot where they're all together, where Uli takes the hit. I can't believe that, this is what we're looking at in terms of the merge. It's really interesting dynamics. I think that there's a lot to talk about in this episode, and I'm happy that we finally ditched to earn the merge, even though we still had to earn the merge feast. Merge meal, because it's now no longer a feast. I forgot that very important distinction.
Shrinkflation hits us all, Liana.
It was like merge charcuterie, actually.
Which you and I talked about infamously with Sam Phelan a couple of weeks ago about how that is a terrible idea for a meal. But we are eating right now, be it a meal, be it a feast, because you've heard her melodious tones. But I'm excited to officially introduce from Survivor 48. And listen, she would never say it, but I will deign to say, single-handedly got Zoran Mamdani elected due to her turn in a commercial campaigning for him. It is Stephanie Berger.
Hey, guys. Oh, my God. Has anyone ever better parlayed first bootdom? I guess Maddie Pamela is also in the ad, but first bootdom into being in the ad for the mayor. That's crazy.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
That's
listen,
so cool.
All the power to Francesca, of course, getting to be on Survivor Trice, but is she in a political ad? I don't think so.
Yeah, it rocked. We're going to send him back to the suburbs. And we did. It rocked.
Yes, unlike the person, again, who ate a rock for being the first boo twice. But Steph, I'm excited to talk with you about this season so far, and particularly this episode. I think a lot of the common consensus is that it was a little bit of a slower start. Obviously, the strategy was a little bit more straightforward, even through the swap. But these past 2 episodes have picked things up, and I don't think it's particularly a coincidence. That's a lot of Uli on Uli crime happening, considering how interesting that tribe was through the first 5 episodes. What have your thoughts been on 49 so far?
Yeah, I think it has been a slow start. I think I am in the slow start camp. I believe Brandon Donlin has done some good studies on the slow startiness of this season. But I'm excited with where things are going. I am keen to have a merge where the players do really have relationships across tribe. I think that makes this fun. And it is interesting. I was thinking about sort of the 3 tribe dynamic. I think people have literally written missives about the 3 tribe dynamic over the last couple of weeks, but that you can only really get to one of three outcomes at the merge, which is either like one tribe is untouched, one tribe is like not in good shape, and then the other tribe is small, or you wind up with like what I guess that's kind of what we've got here. Or you wind up in a circumstance where you've got these two tribes that are sort of even, and then this little tribe in the middle. And we got kind of a combo of that here. And it's fun to see also. I'm really curious about Alex and Soph. Are we calling her Soph now?
Okay, yeah. We can just
Can we start?
actually,
Can we
like
start
I
that?
respect the
Yes.
ability to call people the way they want to be called. That said, I don't know if that's exactly what she would have wanted to be called. If you like segregated her out from the rest of the peer pressured environment, where she's like, "Yeah, Soph's fine. Sure, you could speak on our behalf."
No, she really does not seem to actually want to be called Soph in that context, but I guess she's okay with it. I would say Sophie in that context, like really tops her at that, like on the mat. She's like, no, I'm Sophie, you're Soph. And
Yeah.
it's like, really?
It's like all the power to her. Listen, like sometimes the first
No.
person to speak up commands the most power.
Amen. But I feel like the two, Sophie Bellardi, and Alex are in a really, oh my God, we just got balloons, are in a really, what the heck was
The
that?
merge! They should actually have more party supplies. I know they get like paints. Why is there not more? It's probably to go on this tangent, but why is there not more festivities? Especially when they're sending them back to the Kellic camp, which is like totem snake infested camp of the three.
Is that where they sent them?
Yes.
Yeah. It's so sad.
Because you see the three of them, the Bottoms Up Alliance. You see the Bottoms Up Alliance being like, they're coming here.
Yeah. Really? Like, are you sure? Did you read that right? Like, why?
It'd be
It's
great if they
horrible
read it
here.
wrong and they're like, all right, we got to prep for their coming. And then it's just like, none of them show up.
They were, oh my God, we do have to talk about how awkward they were. They cracked me up. They were really funny. They were like, okay, wait, mom and dad just came home and like we threw a party and like there's beer bottles everywhere and we voted out the person and we like have to like get our excuse together. Okay, but anyways, you asked an original question about the merge. Yeah, I think it's an interesting merge. And I think the fact that there's been, someone called it cross-pollination, the fact that there's some cross-pollination makes it fun. And the fact that there's like a bunch of advantages kind of floating around and there's a knowledge is power that no one knows about, I think also have like the potential to make this and to keep this interesting.
Yeah, I think well, okay, I have several thoughts. I want to go back to the whole naming thing because I completely agree with whatever Soph's reaction was to the whole thing. But I'm like, why can't you call them like Sophie B, Sophie S, maybe call them by their last names? I don't know.
Like we're on The Bachelor.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of other options instead of one of them, Sophie just saying, no, this is what you're called now. Like there was just no discussion. It felt weird. It also felt weird for Jeff to have to spend time on it. He was like, hold on. We need to discuss this before we can begin. This is so critically important that we understand what we're calling you. It felt so bizarre.
I'm obsessed with this because this should have been nipped in the bud so much earlier.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, yes,
Maybe
the two of them were never on the same tribe, but like, there have been instances at these challenges where like you are talking to multiple people. Two Sophies have been established from the very beginning. So, and it does feel odd that just like, all right, everybody, let's hunker down for a second. I know we've had a lot of fun, but before it can really begin, we got a little bit of a discrepancy to deal with, considering that, to your point, Liana, there's been a lot of past precedent for this that's been determined by production proper.
Yeah, he do be sliding into like I want to make sure that the second graders at home can follow what is happening mode sometimes. He really is conscious of that. And so perhaps that is his like benign and ultimately benevolent place of where he's coming from. Like he does want to make sure that the show makes sense to the viewer, or like that something as simple as like which one of these Sophies is which is explained. And I've said it before, but like you have to be a really good Sophie for them to cast two of you on a season. Like it's a sign that both of these are like some primo Sophies for there to be both.
I don't know if they'll ever cast a Sophie again on this show after this. I think this was the limit. They said, All right. Clearly, these are the signs from the survivor gods that no more Sophies. We're cutting it off at 3.
I fear that there are still plenty of Zillennial Sophies to come. I think we're gonna get a few more.
Well, you better not come in being called Sophie. That's the thing. I think now that's the thing. Of like, all right, you're not going to be Sophie. You better come in with a nickname for yourself.
Yeah, you better be prepared because this is like a point of order.
Would you be the Soph god? Would that help?
Oh my goodness.
Oh my god, not the Soph god. Yeah, it was super awkward. And again, it also like is totally ineffective. Like they immediately cut to Rizzo back at the beach being like, is it yellow Soph or blue Soph? Sorry, apparently like my computer really wants to participate tonight. But like they immediately cut to him and he's like, all right, like which one is it? Like the cast isn't doing that. You know what I mean? They're not using whatever random name they came up with. Like the audience, I guess, is doing it, but like, are we really? And also when they vote them out, like when they write their names, what are they gonna write?
That's a good point.
I guess they have to write Soph, right? Like we can't have a bye-bye Denver Diva situation where it's like, okay, well, who does this refer to? And maybe that's why they wanted to like formalize it so that if it is, because you bring up Kelly Wigglesworth, Kelly Wentworth, like they use last names there. But again, they could do that because they've done it before.
Yeah. I just maybe what would have made me feel better is Soph in a confessional saying like, I'm okay with it. Like I just want to make sure. I just feel bad for her. Like that's where all of this is really coming from. I just
imagine cuts being like, they're calling me Soph. And I'm all right with it. A-okay by me.
So because I just feel like a poor thing. Like she got forced into a name she doesn't associate with. That's confusing.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's such a minor part of the episode. And I feel like it was 90% of my problems.
So here's where I was about to go though, which is like we're at minute 10 of this recording. And you did start with like, how have you felt about the season thus far? And this is where we're spending a bulk of our time, which perhaps is like an overall indicator for where we're at right now. Like maybe that's the data point.
I mean, what I would say is that like this season has definitely picked up in terms of entertainment, in terms of intrigue. But even then, you know, it was a fairly by the book vote in terms of dynamic. Now, I really enjoyed it. I think, you know, Asia talked about this at the live San Francisco show that, you know, she wished it was a little bit more set up of a mystery of like, okay, where will Juwan and Sage go? I actually like the choice more so where from the beginning we get this bottoms up alliance painted and then we sort of get like the outcome of, okay, the intrigue is more so which Uli is going home, because then it really does explain why they make the move the way that they do. And there's still some fun stuff. I'm sure we're going to get into the Savannah Ring of Keys incident of it all. But yeah, what did you think about that, Liana? I mean, about this Nate vote in general, because it seems like it's the Fiji Edgardo thing, right? Where it's just like the least likely person of the minority to get an idol played on them.
Yeah, I think for me what was weirder and what I felt like was really missing was, okay, when I'm looking at the narrative that's being set up and I'm seeing like Juwan and Sage pledge their allegiance to the Rizzo and under God and
under Riz God.
And yeah, exactly. And basically say like, and Rizzo's like, I'm not going to play my idol. I 100% trust you. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for trusting you guys. Then yet at Tribal, he pulls out the idol. He's like, I don't know, maybe I'm going to play it. And then you have a bunch of weird, like not confessionals, but like sentences from people basically alluding to something weird is going to happen. And like, I don't know. I just felt like there was a gap, right? Like I understand that they were trying to set up, like, is it going to be, you know, Nate, or is it one of Rizzo or Savannah that, you know, predominantly Savannah that they're going to take the shot at. But then there was something about that just didn't like ultimately seem right. I just felt like I was missing information ultimately when it came to the gap between what I'm seeing before Tribal Council and then what ultimately seems to transpire at Tribal Council.
Yeah. I mean, typically the person who's going home is going to get sort of like confessional loaded throughout their episode. And they kind of get that nice little boost right at the end. And so I watched the episode twice in preparation for this. as a good student does.
Thank you.
And because I remember getting to the end and being like, did he have only one confessional? That's crazy. Because like I felt like I was not set up to see Nate going home at the end of this episode. And I don't know if I understand why they voted for him, except for it seemed like Christina's opinion drove the vote, which I also don't feel like I understood, because she's the one who says, Nate feels like the sure thing. I don't want to risk it. Savannah, Rizzo. What if Rizzo plays his idol for Savannah? What if Rizzo plays his idol for himself? I would rather the safe or the sure bet. And I think we should debate like the goodness of that at a 11 vote versus at a 10 vote, because they're putting themselves in a position now where like the idol is still in play and it's in play at a 10 vote, which I think is a little bit more risky. But like, we get 4 confessionals from Nate. They are basically, and I literally wrote them down, they are, I'm excited for the merge. I have new life in this game. A classic. Okay. I'm really nervous when I see that Shannon's gone. An alarm goes off because like we have to figure out if Sage and Jawan are still with us. And then sounds like Shannon went crazy. I think we can go back to the old being old Uli. We just have Shannon gone. And then the final one is something like, things are really like kind of wild tonight. It feels like we're making a lot of like rapid movements, but like, I guess I'm okay. We don't get like why he's the target. I don't understand why, like maybe like Sophie B is not the target, right? If you're looking at that 4, I have another thought on Sophie and Alex too, but I'll put that off to the side. Like, I'm not quite sure what, why Nate, other than the fact that he seems kind of like he's collateral. And it does also feel like, so let me pause there. I just like don't feel like we get set up really. And he doesn't even talk about feeling nervous or uncomfortable, except in the context of like, seems weird that they voted out someone on our tribe.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah. Well, and at least like 3 of those confessionals I know were in the first like
That's
15
correct.
minutes of the show or
That's
something
correct.
like that, which is also like very weird. Because when I started seeing a bunch of Nate confessionals, I was like, oh no, Nate's going home. But then I was like, oh, okay. But now we're not hearing from him anymore. So like maybe not. I don't know what's going to happen. But also, again, it felt like a lot of that setup was actually in those the first bit of the show. And then it felt like everything after was just nothing. I'm like, why are you showing me this? Because the logic for why Nate was shown by Christina in the beginning, which was he, because Rizzo could play the idol for himself or Savannah. That was it. That was the entire reason why, I mean, from what I can tell, why they voted Nate. So then I'm like, why do we get all this other stuff after that? Like, I would rather see more. I want to hear more about Alex and his relationship with people. I want to see how Sophie B fits in.
I just like falling for it. We actually did it.
Do not fall for Big Soph, okay?
Okay, Sophie B. I'm gonna call her Sophie B, and I'm gonna call him Sophie S. Sophie S and Sophie B. Okay, so yeah. Sophie, like I want to hear, yeah, exactly. Why not Sophie B, for example, right? Like, or what is Nate's relationship with anybody else? Like, we just saw none of that, and I just felt like there was such a huge chunk missing. Does that just not exist? Like, footage not found? I don't know, Mike.
Can I go, please. Mike, and then I have like a slight take. Nate is like a Hollywood power player, right? Like
yeah,
they are very careful with their Hollywood power player men, right? They are not dunking on in any way. Like they ain't never have dunked on Mike White. They never gonna dunk. I mean, and like, look, and I say this as somebody,
you don't know what's coming on 50, Steph.
That is true. I get a little dunked on, right? But like, but mostly removed, like through it, mostly unscathed. And the fact is like, there's footage out there for everybody that can be put together for the most part, I believe, that could make it look like this is the reason this person goes home, right? Like there is something that they could say that is not just they are not Savannah and not Rizzo, and that they are collateral, right? Like that they're a safe vote. They could come up with some reason because someone says something, someone does something annoying out there. Like everybody does it, but the show is very careful with its Nates. They were very, very gentle to John Lovett. They were really gentle with, like, they have been consistently gentle with Mike White. And that is not to say it's entirely possible that all of these men have perfectly acquitted themselves in however many days of footage they have of them out there. That is entirely possible, but it seems like kind of unlikely.
No, it's a
And I
really
do feel
interesting
like the
point that
show takes care of some of the players in a way that is specific.
yeah, it is really interesting. I mean, I think even going back to like God, like the Jimmy Johnson of it all, right? Where it's
Mm.
like the man quit 3 episodes in and was, but they gave him like sort of a, well, he had a great time even if he wasn't here for a long time. And is there maybe some sort of like reverence for them of like, hey, listen, you could do a lot of things with the amount of time and connections that you have, but you chose to play our game and we really respect that. I mean, I think Nate himself, I mean, actually, we did see like a couple of moments where he was a little ornery, right? When he told Matt to kick rocks when he was voting him out, like a little bit of like spicy Nate, him yelling at Rizzo during a challenge. Like that's obviously nothing
That
compared to.
is
Yeah, I mean
like,
it's mild
one,
spice.
I don't remember that. And so like that tells you how like sticky it is, right? Like we've just come off an episode where they dunked on Shannon Fairweather over and over and over again. And again, it's not as though she didn't say those things, but when you cut to somebody viscerally reacting to every single time you try to hug them, like it's I know. It's like that's a spicy way to edit the show.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Maybe there's another reason. Maybe the vote on Nate happens like super last minute. I don't know, but I do think they're a little gentle on some of these on some of these folks in a way that they aren't always, and they and I would say like oftentimes they're not with the women.
Yeah, I mean, I do agree going back to the original point about like, is there more of a complex rationale behind Nate going? Because I think what most surprised me is the fact that like, okay, so Sage and Jawan are theoretically your swing votes, right? If you're Hina, because you feel like you have Alex. So like when Sage comes to you and is like, it has to be Savannah, it has to be Savannah, like it's a little surprising that you don't acquiesce to her, right? This was the whole Sarah Lucina thing that, oh no, you're not a dictator, you're not the president here. We're not going to work with you. We're just going to flip on you. So maybe they felt like Sage was going to vote with them no matter what, as long as it was an Uli. But you would think that, yeah, considering that the only real stream of logic was just Christina being like, hey, let's stay the course, which I guess is also kind of a merge logic as well, especially over the past few years of like, just get through an easy vote that a majority can agree on relatively unscathed, and then you could sort of move forward. But I do agree that, you know, it comes at the cost of leaving someone with an idol in the game and now very much has their guard up as to, okay, I guess I better be playing this soon on somebody. And if it hits right, then the scales are just going to balance themselves again.
Yeah,
Well,
I
and I
think
mean,
that's right. Go ahead,
no,
Liana.
go ahead. Well,
No,
I
no,
was
no,
just
you
gonna
jump.
say, I feel like but it also then it goes back to like, okay, fine, like that's the setup. Oh, that's a setup for Nate, whatever. But then I'm like, okay, then why does Rizzo make a huge stink out of it? Is this because he knows that people know he has an idol? So then, like, why are we doing that whole thing? I don't know. It just felt like that. Then that was like maybe unnecessary, or maybe he know that Jawan and I mean Nate in his final confessional said that he was blindsided. So
Yeah.
then I'm like, okay, then why did Rizzo take it out and do that? Was that just like an insurance, some kind of like psychological insurance policy?
I'm pretty sure he knew that everyone knew because remember, MC told him and basically said like, oh yeah, Sage just told everybody. So he's like, great, now everybody knows about it. So I think it makes sense if he's trying to do the whole like, okay, everybody knows about it, so let me just get it out of the way. He just didn't, you know, he did the half measure or maybe the full measure of the bluff of being like, I'm going to play this. No, I'm not. Don't worry.
So Liana, like I literally have in my notes, either it's a blind side or it's not, right? Like it's confused. Either it is or it isn't.
Right?
And at the vote, it's confusing that he's like kind of taunting them, right? Or like taunting is the wrong word, but like he's like, no, I really have this and I'm really going to play it, and then doesn't play it, right? Like what is happening there? And then I forgot what you just mentioned, Mike, which is that Rizzo knows that MC told him that Sage told her
Yeah.
and everybody about the idol. And at this point now, you've got the data point of Sage has lied about the idol or has given away my idol to others. And LOL at this, voted out somebody that was on our tribe.
Not only that, I am fairly sure that Sage outright lies to Savannah and says that Shannon told everyone about Rizzo's idol.
So,
Right.
okay.
Which MC can literally fact check, which MC is the fact check on, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's okay. I'm trying to decide if I dreamt this or not.
Okay,
And
I like
swear
this.
to God, I
Yes.
swear to God, I think I saw it on Reddit, but I'm looking for it now, and I just want to make sure. Okay,
Do your dreams
don't know.
include Reddit?
I think well that's more of a Liana thing, like
Yeah.
in general, that probably says more about me. But I thought that I saw MC tweet something that was like, I didn't say Sage, I said Shannon about the idol. That Shannon was the
Oh.
one who told everybody about I may have 100% made that up, like I said, in my dreams. Because I feel like it would be more well known now. But okay, let's assume that it wasn't Shannon. But if it was Shannon, if MC had said Shannon, it would have made more sense why they would still be okay with Sage. Because if it was Sage,
Yeah,
like
of
if
course.
he was like, Sage did this, da 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 da, and all of this lying, why would they still be trusting Sage anyway? Right? So because if I was Rizzo and I'm like, Sage told everybody about my idol, I would not trust her going into this merge. So
Yeah.
maybe they didn't have a choice.
But see, like, we're having a more interesting conversation than we got on the show.
Yeah,
right?
we
Which is,
really
like,
complicated things so much more than what was presented on screen.
but like, and again, second graders, but like, I want to understand why Rizzo and Savannah are not cutting Sage or Joanne at this point.
Yeah.
Right? Like the same way that I'm curious as to why it's not Rizzo or Savannah, I'm also curious as to why it's not Sage or Joanne here. Particularly with the like beef that we get between Savannah and Joanne that we've had teed up for us nicely. And then I do think if you really feel like you've got Soph and Alex strong at this point, you can cut an Uli. Like you could go after one of your own, particularly one that you don't trust and that you don't like. And it also, Joanne says something right at the start of the episode too, where he talks about wanting to take out now that they're done with voting out Shannon, they're gonna take out one of the Uli big dogs or like
Yeah.
over dogs or something. He says like he calls them the top. We're gonna take out the top dogs. So like Jawan also knows he's on the bottom, which I think is interesting. And that's not really like teased out for us neatly, but it's clear that he's got some awareness of what's going on interpersonally. And it's why he has flipped and why he's flipped so solidly.
Which is interesting because, on the one hand, I'm like, oh, I'm a little surprised by this. On the other hand, if you think back to the first swap, right, like the entire intrigue was around person on the bottom, be it Matt, be it Jawan, coming to him being like, I know you're on the bottom. And he's like, yeah, I totally am. And then we cut to a confessional of Jawan being like, I'm just placating him. So I maybe I was a little surprised because I didn't know if that meant that like he knew he was on the bottom, right? Because we hear again and again, had Uli gone to tribal council, Uli 1.0, he was gone. He was Jagon. So maybe he had that. Maybe he would have had that. I had that one in my back pocket.
Jagon.
Jagon. They're gonna write that on. Mark my words, Savannah will write that on her ballot when she votes him out at some point in the near future.
I hope so.
But I guess the question is, as you mentioned, like, why not at this point? Like, did they really think they had Sage and Jawan so snowed? And I guess the answer is yes. We consistently hear from the two of them about how they feel underestimated, that they feel like they've been placated, and it does seem like. And also, this is another case of like, when you don't go to tribal council together as a group, your bonds are never tested. And so it might have just been like, for all as far as Savannah and Rizzo and Nate know, Jawan was voting them at the swap. He's loyal to the soil. Oh no, this Shannon thing happened with Sage. We weren't around for it, but we'll believe you at this point. And so I guess they were likely to believe them at that point because they just haven't seen necessarily firsthand evidence that they had any sort of interest in turning on them, except for, as we've been mentioning, this odd discrepancy of Rizzo finding out that Sage not only told everyone that he had an idol, but also lied about it to their faces.
Yeah. Okay, can I switch the topic really quickly?
Please.
Do you guys think that Rizzo would play his idol for Savannah?
I think
No.
It's a good. I mean, it's because
an immediate hard no. I'm like, absolutely not.
Because he had that confessional right when he found it, and he's like, this is all for us guys. Then in private, he's like, it's not all for you, it's all for me.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like you could bet pretty solidly at that tribal that he wasn't going to play it for Savannah. He just doesn't strike me as the kind of guy, the thumbs are killing me, that is going to go home playing an idol on somebody else who is a fierce competitor. Like,
Yeah.
he might do it to save somebody who's kind of like who's a little bit more goaty, who he thinks he can beat, right? Like, I could see him talking himself into that. But I feel like if I knew Rizzo had an idol, I would also be 85% confident that he's not playing that for somebody else. Like, I'd feel really good making that judgment call. And so again, it called into question the why not going after Nate or why go after Nate and why not go after Savannah in this moment, because I think there was a more clear shot at her than I think they thought. And it did definitely seem like that was who Sage wanted also.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I think it, I'm also surprised that they didn't take the shot at Savannah, because it
Yeah.
just felt like there were so many reasons to do it. And I know we do get, I can't remember who says it, but someone mentions like, we can't risk losing one of our own.
Right.
And I'm like, yeah, you can. You actually can.
You can.
There's
You
enough.
can. You're 442. You
Yeah.
absolutely can.
Yeah, so it would have been fine. And also, yeah, I mean, I agree completely with the logic of like, you already, and it's Jawan and Sage who are advocating for this, that are like, they don't know. They genuinely feel so comfortable. Like, if we are going to take the shot at the idol, this is when we do it.
Mm.
So, or I don't know, maybe they, yeah, I don't know. And I think for original Uli, like, I do, we had heard a lot, and we hear even Savannah in this episode talk about how Sage was annoying me and Jawan I wanted to throw off a cliff or whatever. But like, what other options do they have? I think especially because Rizzo and Savannah never really spent time with any of the Hina that they didn't eliminate.
They voted out the Hina, and then they only
Correct.
have spent some time with MC, who was like kind of a hostage in enemy territory.
Exactly.
Yeah. So like, that's the other thing, which is, why is MC not advocating for Savannah?
Yeah, especially
Yeah,
because
especially
as we'll
she's
get
got an
into,
idol.
like, look what the hell happened in this episode, right? When like,
yeah,
they say Savannah's a threat, and this is really interesting because I feel like there has not been a lot of talk about this. Maybe we got some in the beginning, right, which lets this whole initial skirmish with Sage, with her being like, we got to watch out for Savannah. But Savannah proved to be maybe one of the most shrewd players we have in the game right now, considering the entire sequence of not just walking up on somebody looking for an idol, not only tailing them, but within seemingly a period of 10 seconds, trying to throw yourself actively onto the prop that she was looking for to secure her vote, and then simultaneously try to make a deal with her. Like, this is a player, and it was so entertaining to watch. But I agree, I don't know how you're not MC and immediately going to everybody being like, Savannah just did that. We need to get rid of her post.
I know. I feel like, so, but like, the Rachel Lamont school of Survivor would have been watching MC open it from a place that she could see what she was doing, but not interrupting her. And then I think, and Rich, I feel like that is also a person who would have like watched really strategically, and then as soon as they see them get it open, they would have walked over there. I think the like timing of it was a little awkward. It's even more, I watched it twice. It was worse the second time. Like, I was like, oh my God, this conversation is so strange. This is so hard. This is so hard. And like, putting myself in both of their shoes, I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I'm glad I was eliminated day 3 and I never had to think about that. That sucks. That's stressful.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, there's a lot of ways you can prepare for Survivor. I think one of the most underrated is probably like having someone catch you doing something in the act and trying to like play it cool, because it seems like everyone, even the most prepared Survivor players, very much struggle with like, you're thinking on the fly, right? Where MC just yes ands the entire thing. She's like, are you looking for an idol? Yep. You want to join me? Sure. Why not?
Sure. Come on,
but then
come along.
But like, also, like, girl, you like jump after the key ring, which is comically like
so
tied into the ground incredibly. Like, it's a thing you cannot take away. And then as soon as you don't get it, you sit down, you watch the person use the keys, and then you say, hey, look at me really quick. because she says, "Look at me," because like MC is
Yeah.
literally opening the keys and is like, "Look at me," and MC like looks at her. I'm like, girl, just like eyes down, eyes down, eyes down. Give her nothing.
I was
right?
waiting. And I think if maybe MC was a smaller woman, Savannah would have made another grab for it. She just would have been like, yoink, and try to wrestle
I
her
know.
over it.
I know.
Fighting
Thank
you.
God. Thank God MC's arms. I know. When we filmed the Zoran ad, I got to see Natalie Anderson's arms up close. My goodness. I feel like MC's got guns like that. Terrifying. Like in a very terrifying
In a good-
parentheses. Hugely complimentary. Like very
Amazing
impressive.
way.
I would never
Mhm.
try to take a set of keys or anything. Yeah, I don't. That is a weird interaction, and it's a weird interaction to come back from and be like, yeah, I'm not voting your ass out, right? Like once you've got it, you've got an idol, so you know you're not going home. That is the time to
Correct.
push, and you've just spent what, like they spent like 2 days or 3 days together on the like in the swap 2.0, and I can't keep any of these straight anymore. I feel like you come back and you're like, it's gotta be like there's no trust there. There's no relationship there whatsoever. And like you also immediately see her cut to telling Rizzo everything as soon as Rizzo goes back from the charcuterie board.
In front of everybody.
In mixed company, yeah.
In front of everybody.
Hey, well, okay, welcome back. But can I just like info dump on you right now?
She found a ring of keys. And like that's yes, Mike.
I mean, there's a tactic I think maybe you could have utilized, right? Like, okay, let's
Tell
say
me.
if I'm Savannah and I see the ring of keys, could you be like, oh, hey, Steven, and like look off in the distance, and then the minute MC like turns to look, just grab it, like really do a major look, which you was able to pull off
Look
later
at
on.
You're doing a look over there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
doing
Doing a
a
Jada
look
yeah.
Look over there.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe. Also, there's a really good. I'm watching 47. So I did not watch 47 all the way through prior to my season. I was a little too tender for that. But I'm getting caught up on 47 currently. And there's also a really good teeny getting caught showing Rome's idol to is it Keyshawn, I think?
I'm pretty sure it was Keyshawn,
Yeah.
yes. And then
And
Rome
then-
walks up on them doing it.
So funny.
Yeah.
Honestly, like you need to practice fire making. You need to practice like holding something and balancing it. And then you need to practice like getting caught. Just like getting fully caught on things.
Mhm.
Like, if we get it
Mhm.
tested like time and time again, that couple at the Coldplay concert would have totally failed. They would have had,
Yep.
they had to
They-
commit.
Just gotta be normal. If you're just normal.
Like, if MC
it'll
was there,
all
she'd be
go
like,
away.
yeah, baby, yes.
hug
Adultery.
into it.
I'm here.
Lean
This is
into
my
it.
wife.
Oh my God. Oh my, no, actually, honestly, MC would have slayed that. Yeah. That's, yeah, God, the couple at the Coldplay concert.
Yeah, this is my
So
wife.
funny.
I mean,
Okay.
I loved this moment though. Like, it was just so
Really?
as you said, Steph, like it was so awkward, especially because it starts off so badly and then it somehow gets worse. But just the image of the two of them so nonchalant yet so tense on the surface, and then the image of like the way the camera's framed of Savannah just falling into frame
Yeah.
to try to grab the keys is so good. It got the biggest pop in the room with the audience as well at the live show because
Oh, I bet.
again, like, when we talk about these, like, we're far from the days of the knockout, drag out, Amanda Kimmel versus Daniel DiLorenzo, or even like when Chrissy was wrestling Cole in Heroes,
I know,
Healers, Hustlers.
They don't let us wrestle anymore. Right?
Yeah,
They
now
took
we have to-
They took wrestling out.
Now you got to like throw some idols and keys in play. I'm surprised actually that like if they think Sage has the right key, could someone just like knock her out, like tackle her to the ground to get the key for that box for the challenge advantage?
Nah, definitely not. That one they like tell you can't do in the pregame. They're like, all right, yeah, you can't. Yeah, honestly, also, I hope that the cameraman and the boom mic guy were just fucking cracking up the whole time. I bet you they were like, oh, like they really enjoyed it. Yeah. I bet you they totally did. God, it was so that is a wild moment. But I stand behind, if you're MC and you know now that you got this idol and now you have to play it because you just got caught.
Yeah.
How are you not saying it's got to be that girl? And like we should find this out from her eventually, like at some point in the context of the game, what her thinking was there. And maybe it's like, oh, like she's like pissing people off. We don't think she's a threat. Like maybe that's it. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, well, and I mean, we see this logic from people who win individual immunity as well, that they're more willing to take more risks because obviously their name isn't on the line. So
Yeah.
between Joanne, Sage, Sophie S, and MC, like that would be the majority. Now, potentially, if you have Steven or Christina going to the group and be like, no, guys, seriously, please, like if we're going to work together, like I'm not willing to do this or whatever. Maybe Alex did the same. I don't know. But it just felt like you've got enough people who are safe that like we would be willing to take that risk.
Can we take a pin in Christina really quickly?
Please.
What is going on in Christina's head that she's not the target? They're like, we gotta take out one of these original Hina members. And we've got MC who's playing an idol, and we've got Sophie who's got the immunity necklace. It's gonna be Steven. Right? Like, is Christina's name just like not even coming up? Like, what's happening there?
Could it be that, and I don't think she did this on purpose, but the fact that she had a little bit of, a meltdown an episode ago, be like, all right, well, listen, we could keep her around. Like, it's only getting hotter from here. I don't know if we necessarily need to get rid of her anytime soon.
I think it could potentially be as simple as who can win individual immunities, right? Sophie S.
Steven just finished in second, yeah.
Steven finishes in second. Sophie S wins. MC, look at her, a physical beast, right? So you're making assumptions. I'm not saying Christina can or cannot win individual immunity, but what they see and that perception out there, it could genuinely be that simple.
And
you're not buying it.
Like I guess so, but how many individual immunities does someone have to we got a few, like we're at 11. We got how many more to go? 6?
Yeah,
5,
probably.
6? Something like that mathematically. We got a few of these left.
And I will say, it did seem like it was potentially Christina until everybody was like, well, but you guys all really like Steven. So isn't that a problem that you all really like Steven? Like that kind of situation. So, which again, also you have the double agents. The whole point of the double agents is that you know what Uli's going to do. Like why? Okay, sorry. I just feel like I'm just continuously arguing to myself. I'm like, why? I mean, I get that they didn't vote Savannah and there might be some other reasons for it. But like, if you're telling me people wanted to vote for her and the only reason they didn't, like you should have just gone for it.
Okay, can we come back? I've got one more question about the double agents too.
Mm-hmm.
Is there going to be fallout with Alex and Sophie because Sophie B? Because Alex leaves Sophie B out of the vote.
I know, which is like a very understated element. I think it is going to be addressed next episode. I do not think Sophie B is gonna let this lie. I think she's very much going to go to Alex, immediately do, what the hell, man? Why did you leave me out? Because this was like a very small note, but again, a very important note in the ultimate outcome of this episode, this 7-4 vote, which is Alex and Sophie sitting on the beach and being like, all right, well, we're in the most powerful positions. And Alex is like, you're not going to get rid of my friends anytime soon. This is the moment where your high school best friend goes off to a different college and then you come back and it's like, okay, well, this relationship's maybe prided a bit over the ones that we were kind of forced into due to the area codes that we lived in. And so I don't know if they're going to, I mean, I think they might like save face and vote together if there is an easy vote next time, but like, I don't think she's ever going to trust him again. I mean, things were already on the rocks with the whole Jacob and all. And like, they had one vote to be on the same page with the Jeremiah stuff, but they haven't, again, had a real exercise to be able to uniformly form that trust ever since.
But like, this is where, again, I want another conversation with them. We saw that conversation so early in the merge. Like, who knows? If I was Alex, here's what I would consider doing. I would consider going to Sophie B and be like, hey, look, I'm 100% with you, but to save face with Hina, I'm going to vote with them. I understand you guys have the numbers, but just like, I don't know, or something like that. Like, I feel like there's a universe, like maybe if they end up repairing the relationship, maybe there's something we missed or something along those lines. Like, I feel like that could be an argument.
I feel like somebody in the Tika 3 did that or something. Like there was there was a moment like that where they were playing, and that would be great for D chess. To be like, hey, I am doing this and I'm giving you a heads up.
Yeah.
And I don't think it gets don't think it gets around the fact that Sage and Joanne also flip. And like, is she really gonna buy that he didn't know Sage and Joanne were flipping? I don't know. And why would he want to vote with the bottom? Like, what does that really do for him? IDK. Also, sidebar, did they know what he does for a living? They don't, right?
No, he
I don't think
told
so.
me preseason. I think he said he was works in marketing, or he works for like some sort of firm in DC.
Classic marketing, not scary at all. Okay. Yeah, I think maybe he could have talked her into it. But I do think he's gonna have some damage control as well. And I agree with you. I don't think Sophie B is ever buying him again. And that's also interesting, because when the duo don't trust each other anymore, they stop being a duo.
Yeah.
Right? Like, usually you can navigate your way through the merge as a two pretty effectively. And that's kind of what Sage and Joanne now have. They've like split out to successfully build that. But that pair is kind of no more. And I'm curious. It seems like only one of them can survive that. Like, it seems like the other, like, one of them has to go pretty quickly. Because there's like there's going to be no trust or relationship there whatsoever. Super cool. Okay, is that all my questions I had for you? Oh, last one.
Yes.
Why doesn't she take MC's idol?
Oh, Sophie. Yes. Why did Sophie B
Yeah.
not use the knowledge as power? I mean, it could be that she felt she could use it later on, right? Because remember, I mean, we have to think about like the confidence that she went into in this vote, that it would just sort of be a slam dunk for Steven. And then maybe she felt like, I guess the other thing too is that, of course, in the new era, right, it is all about sticking your neck out, bringing your head above water at the right time. Maybe Sophie had feared that, like, if she kicks off the merge by being like, hey, here's an advantage I didn't even tell my closest alliance about, and I'm going to take this move to go steal somebody's idol to ensure that somebody else goes out, that, like, that could be something that really puts her on the forefront, when really she wants to sort of just blend in this impending yellow-red war, be the blue sky in the background.
The blue sky in the background. Yeah, take her idol, though, and vote her out. Like, you wanted to vote her out in the first place. Take her idol and vote her out. You know, like, it's crazy that does, or attempt to vote her out. They would have missed on it. They would have somehow gotten the idol, and she'd still be in the game.
That would be amazing. Yeah, that's a nice consolation prize, right? Like, all right, I've got something, and that would be interesting because they would have had two idols on their side too.
Oh, yeah, because they keep it, right? Like, it's not the nullifier, right? It's like, oh, I'm actually taking this from you.
It's weird to consider, considering that this has never actually worked before, but in theory, yes.
Yes, right.
No. When did we see it get played? Only in 41, or does it get played again?
We saw it get played in 41 and 42. 41 was the whole, no, but you can have this fake. And then 42 was Drea trying to steal mics, and then we cut to like the flashback, and Omer tips Mike off so that Mike gives him the idol.
That's right. They've played hide the salami. Okay. So I mean, yeah, you take it in this moment. I don't know. Then you got two idols in a group of 5. What I
find so interesting is that everyone who has idols trying to use this logic of like, well, I should hold on to it so that we know where it is. And then everyone always responding like, yeah, that's why I want to get rid of it, so that you don't have it. It's just, again, it's totally the classic reality TV trope of like, from my position of power, this makes the most sense. And this person on the bottom being like, yes, and that's exactly why I don't want you to do that.
Yeah. Narrating for second graders yet again.
Well, let's talk about somebody who has made not only films for second graders, but for audiences nationwide, worldwide, even an incredibly prolific producer in his own right. But the production of his Blind Side was quite a sad story to tell. We got to talk about Nate Moore. Liana, you and I think, both came into this episode feeling like Nate, maybe underratedly, one of our favorite characters of the season. Before we even get into predictions, how do you feel losing him, especially in the way that we did?
I'm just so sad about it. Like, I loved Nate's like sarcastic confessionals. I just feel like it was so fun. And like watching him interact with the kids and learn the lingo was just very entertaining. I feel like to me, he came off as very non threatening, but again, he just seemed to be collateral, I guess, for this vote. So yeah, that was really disappointing. I was sad to lose Nate.
Well, what's interesting is that from what he was talking about with me this week, he said that, like, I talked about this perception that Matt had of, like, oh, he's the head of the Uli snake. And, like, Nate said that maybe that came from the fact that he was so vocal in challenges. Like, he was one of, and I did see this firsthand. I was there for that first immunity challenge, and, like, he was the, biggest voice among the group. His age might have also put him in this leadership position. So maybe it was also fueled by this perception of, like, okay, Nate's actually the leader. He's the one that everybody respects. Even though, again, their only anecdotal evidence is like the hour they see of them every 2 days or so.
Yeah, might have been enough though, right? Like that's the perception. And also if you have a perception coming out of Ponderosa, right? Like there are a number of reasons why you can have a certain impact or opinion of somebody.
All right. Well, Liana, Nate made a big impression, of course, in the preseason. Yeah. What were your impressions of the impression?
Yes. So I had Nate making the jury. Nice. I said that I got that one right. Nate's height and strength and lack of crazy helped keep him safe on Uli in the pre-merge. However, he wasn't tight with the majority either. As Nate struggles to bond with the young kids on Uli, as he was at least 16 years older than anyone else on the tribe. Oof. This was particularly evident when it came to work ethic, as the rest of the tribe would rather chill and vibe than get anything done. Although
you said vibes!
I know. It feels weirdly, yeah. Anyway, poor Nate. I'm sorry for using vibe in your prediction. Although it results in some fun Nate confessionals, including one where he unknowingly quotes Kim Kardashian, "It seems like nobody wants to work these days." When the merge hits, Hina has the numbers and Uli flips to secure their safety, throwing Nate under the bus as a consequence. His ally was Jawan and his enemy were those damn kids.
Honestly, slay.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah,
that was quite good.
I have a lot to live up to here. I will start meeting you tit for tat here because I did also have Nate making the jury. Let's see what I wrote. Nate enters the Uli tribe about as well regarded as Captain America in an elevator full of Hydra members. His preseason perceptions carry into the first few days as his serious reactions and fedora make him look like a bizarro Russell Hantz. Luckily, Nate is able to find some assistance on his left in the form of Jawan. He chooses not to open up to him about his Marvel background, but because Jawan's an MCU fan, a Survivor super fan, and also in the movie industry, it allows the two men to lock in like Steve Rogers and Bucky Barnes. Despite Nate's old school mentality towards idols and advantages, he's unfrozen and thrown into the new era when a random draw sends him on a journey. And he's given an opportunity to get an advantage, which he both denies and neglects to tell anyone. Unfortunately, Nate's choice to keep this information as hidden as Wakanda from the rest of the world comes back to bite him. Assuming he's squirreling away something powerful, Savannah decides to kickstart the Uli Civil War. They take out Jawan and the Split Tribal, spoiler for Jawan's prediction, and unfortunately, as you can see, Nate's chances of surviving are dead. But in a, social media post-credit scene, it will be revealed that Nate has hired Jawan full-time as a video editor on Marvel Productions. His closest ally was, and I guess employee, was Jawan, and his enemy was Savannah. So
Guys, I love this.
So I have a feeling I know where this is going to go, but Stephanie, you are the arbiter of Nate's fate here. You get to pick who had the better preseason prediction for how Mr. Moore did.
I think it's Liana. These are awesome, though. This is an incredible tradition, and I'm kind of obsessed. This rocks. Yeah, the fedora though, Mike, that was really what was the many points ding, because there is only one person who got a hat on 49. I consider that my influence, and it was Shannon Fairweather, and it's a baseball cap. So
do you mean your influence? Like, did you cause a big kerfuffle with production concerning the hat you wore in the game?
No, I think they just saw my hat and they were like, sorry, that was as iconic as it gets. We can
Ah,
never
yeah.
allow anyone else to
No
have a
more.
hat
It's the
afterwards.
Sophie effect. Yeah. No more Sophies, no more sun
No more.
hats.
No more Sophies, no more sun hats.
Good
The
rule,
impact
good
of white
rule.
ladies everywhere.
But that's so funny. Didn't Nate have a fedora at some point?
So he
I
wore
actually
it.
have no
He wore
memory
it in
of
the
this.
preseason. That's what everyone.
Oh,
Why
okay.
that flights because everyone was
He wore
identifying
it
him
in
to
the
be,
preseason.
which I think might not have helped his perception
That's
because
so
to get into a little
funny.
bit, yeah, it's like specifically Rizzo and Savannah were not big fans of Nate. They're like, there's this guy with a fedora. He's got a sneaky look to him. Savannah's like, I saw him write down all the winners of Survivor. That means he knows the game. That means we've got to get him out. So like, yeah, maybe don't wear, unless you're the driving crooner, don't wear fedoras, people, in the preseason.
Oh
It
my
just might not
God.
work out.
Okay, now
Mhm.
I'm like, I would like to at some point do a stack rank of hat worn in the preseason and like what it would make me think about them. Like,
I love that.
because I'm like, okay, if you wore a cowboy hat, like, am I like good, bad? Like,
Mhm.
fedora, like for me, I don't think I would be anti fedora, but like maybe I would be anti fedora. You know what I mean? Like sun hat. I actually wore a different sun hat during the pregame. I brought it like a yellow one. I'm trying to think though what I would be.
What
What
if
other
someone wore a
hats there
beanie
are?
on the island? What would you feel about them?
Like Victoria Bamunde?
Yeah.
I think I would be really pro beanie. Beanie is like,
Mhm.
if you're talking about sleep, beanie is like the best thing you could have because you can, one, it's cold as fuck, and two,
Mhm.
you can like cover your
Mhm.
eyes and you can avoid the light. A beanie would be great. I would be really pro beanie. I would be pro beanie on anybody really. It is also November right now, so I think I'm just pro beanie in general.
Mhm. No, I think, but see, then the flip side of that is like, oh, they're prepared because they know it gets cold out there. They know the show. So then maybe, I think there's a lot of different ways to interpret the hat theory.
Oh, I like that. Yeah,
Hat
dress as
theory.
improperly as possible for the island so you don't come across as a fan whatsoever.
But then you screw yourself in the game. Like, yeah. Well, look, those are the risks you got to
It's all
take if
bad.
you
It's a
want to win
balancing
I
Survivor.
act.
had
Listen.
I had famously warm socks and it helped me zero. So
Oh,
Did it say Rad Dad on them?
no, they were so thick though that I was like walking through the jungle just in my socks. Like I didn't need
I love
shoes,
that.
even though twigs they were really, I have no idea why production let me let me have these. They were, and I had two pairs
They're
of
going
them.
out with the sun hats. No more
They were
thick socks.
crazy thick. They were wild to have allowed me to have, like truly. Like I wore them as mittens when I slept. They were so warm. Okay, well, Liana, I think you're the winner here. Those predictions are really cool. I love that you guys do that. That
Thank
rocks.
you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let us get into our game for this
Okay.
weekend. I got something fun here because look, we've had ample opportunities to have people interact and mix things up, but let's make that mixing up more of a literal photographic variety. This is a game we played before. It comes to us from a fantastic listener by the name of Sean. He is at OKMcGoogle on Instagram if people want to give him a shout out, because I certainly will. Because what Sean has done is the unenviable. He has taken cast members from Survivor 49 and he has taken facial features of them and mixed them up together into faces only a mother could love, and even that is a little shaky at best. So how this is going to work is that I am going to present a picture that is a mashup of 3 Survivor 49 contestants. The first will be a given. The first will be the body. You will be able to identify it. So that's not going to necessarily.
This is so funny. I can't wait.
This is the. So that's not necessarily. That's not. That'll be sort of a gimme. But you will do the honor system. So you'll both answer each question, write down or type out independently the other 2 people that are involved in this love child. So you are not guessing the person's body. Again, you are guessing who are the other 2 people involved. So this is a study, where you're halfway through the season at this point. It's a good opportunity to see how much of the faces we have studied and how accurate those study is.
Okay, do I need like pen and paper for this?
Whatever you want to do. You can,
you can type it out.
You can type it out, or Liana can write it down, and and you can announce it first. Okay. Let me just check to make sure I've got this. All right. And I will, as always, just issue a deep apology to all the contestants of Survivor 49. Just bringing this eldritch horror into all of our lives. Unlike what two-time contestants might say, you are all incredibly beautiful people. And nowhere is that better represented with the fact that we can see how hideous you might look if you all get mixed together. Okay, let us start with number 1 here. And you get a sense, Steph, immediately as to what you are in for. Here is person number 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
So again, the body is going to be pretty self-explanatory, but what you are meant to do is specifically in the facial region, write down the other 2 people. Now, I guess I can loosely describe this to the listeners. Of course, if you were just listening to the audio-only version, you can go to bit.ly/ we'll do FaceMorph49 to get a list of all of these and hopefully not get put on a list once somebody sees these on your phone. This first one sort of looks like, I don't know if Santa went to Miami Beach, in that it's got the button down shirt, it's Jake's body, it's Jake's head, but there is a, beard and goatee, which might give the second part away. And also, I'm going to generally call this a 6 head, maybe a 5.5 head at the best, because the eyes are so much further down than the rest of the head proportionally that, I don't know, it almost looks like Santa crossbred with an elf in terms of these facial features.
Oh my god.
All right. So
not
Liana,
weird things happening in Santa's workshop.
It's real cold up at the North Pole, Only so many options.
Cold up there.
The dating apps
Santa
are
files.
only covering a certain radius. Liana, all right, let's start with you. So again, Jake
I have mine
is
written down, by the way.
Oh, amazing. Jake is the gimme. What are the other 2 you have?
Yeah. So, the beard, a bit of a giveaway, right? That's Matt. The eyes, I took a closer look because I couldn't get a good visual on this, but I think I see metallic eyeshadow, which means that those eyes must only belong to the one and only Annie.
Okay. Annie and Matt. Stephanie, what do you say?
Yep.
I have the same.
Yeah.
And you are both on
it.
the money, baby. It is the eyes of one trashy Annie.
That's
trashy
the
Annie
pre-merge right there.
Yeah, it does kind of sound like... Actually, yeah, this is... Listen, if something went down at Ponderosa, then this could have been the result of it. Because that is indeed Matt's beard, and that is Jake's body. So let me get this off the screen. Congratulations.
Yeah, I never want to see that again.
Well, I'm regret to inform you that it only gets worse from here. As
Liana's dreams are Reddit and that.
Well,
that is my sleep paralysis demon.
Here comes some more fuel to the fire, Liana. Here is number 2.
Oh God! Oh, I got this. I feel good.
Oh no!
I've actually seen them in Bushwick before.
I was gonna say, like, this very much is
fully taking a picture of this. I am.
Have you seen this? So yeah, just to describe this to people. So this is obviously the body of the great Nicole Mazzullo, first boot of this season, one of fellow first boot, Steph, and obviously also with a beard that's like a little too large for their face. Almost kind of looks like a Woolly Willy doll that you used to have when you were a kid.
Yeah, with the magnetic things that you would like. Yep.
So
man.
Quite the hairy situation in all ways, but the question is, how hairy is it for you to get these answers right? Let me know when you're both good to go.
I'm just trying to decide whose eyes those.
Aha!
It always comes down to the eyes.
I know that there's a lot drawing you away from the eyes. That's the entire purpose, I suppose.
Yeah,
that is certainly correct.
Beard.
Okay.
I also do like that the beard, the way it's angled, is like a little askew. Like it seems like they almost broke their jaw and it's like slightly angular because Nicole's looking straight down, but the beard is not.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
All right. Stephanie, who are the other 2 people involved in this amalgam besides Nicole?
All right. I think that beard is our dearly beloved Nate. And I think the eyes. There's only. I feel like I'm playing. Like Guess Who, where you have to like knock
Yeah.
little faces down.
Yes.
So, there's only I think 3 women with light eyes. Those are giving women's eyes to me because they're wearing makeup. There's only 3 with light eyes. I think this is our friend Sophie Segretti. I think it's Sophie
Okay,
S.
Sophie S. Liana, what about you?
Oh man, that's who I had. I crossed it out and wrote Sage, but that was my gut instinct too.
Oh
Sophie
no, I
S.
think you might have it. That's the other light-eyed person. I think you might have it.
Yeah. Oh man. Okay.
I
don't
can't
know.
confirm that one of you is right.
No,
Had
you
both of
got
them
it.
on the
You
board.
got it.
So
I
it
think you
is
got it. I think you
indeed
got it.
the beard of Nate.
Yeah.
It is the eyes of Sage. Liana, you
think
are
you got
correct.
it.
Yes.
Yeah, good job.
Let's go. I was just thinking about her going mwah. Like that was
Mwah.
mwah.
I still don't
Oh, man, that
understand
was
what that
tough.
was, what the purpose was with that weird air kissing. Did they do that every time?
Mwah.
All right. Number 3 here for your perusal. Here we go.
God.
Oh,
God. These are so
no.
troubling.
I know.
Oh my god, I have no
Okay, so this is, of course, the body of Christina.
Uh-huh.
She was able to avoid being the merge boot, but unfortunately not able to avoid becoming the structure of one of these answers. The question is, who are the other 2 behind this beautiful face? This is a tough one, admittedly. These facial features blend together more. I think it doesn't help that we got the beards out of the way. Those were sort of the easy
right?
ones.
All right.
Uh,
I think I
you
know
have
who
it-
it is. I think I got it.
oh my
But I'm not
oh my
100%.
God.
All right. Stephanie, why don't you
Okay.
go first then, since you've clocked in your answer ahead of Liana? What have you clocked from this person?
Okay, I was literally when I was watching her and Sophie B chatting on the beach, I was like, God damn, her teeth look good. I think those are Savannah's teeth.
Okay.
Mm.
And are those Jawan's eyes?
Okay, so you have Jawan and Savannah. Liana, what about you?
Bro, I said Nicole and Steven. I have no clue. I panicked.
The good news is neither one of you have a clue because
Okay.
you both blanked completely on this
No
one.
idea.
So this is
I was so confident too.
this is what we love.
I was like,
about
I
it.
got
You're like,
this. I'm good.
I know.
So this was
What's up?
Christina's body. This
Yeah.
is Sophie S's mouth. Sophie S's teeth.
Oh.
She's got
Okay.
great teeth too.
She does have
And
great teeth.
These are Shannon's eyes.
Oh my God,
those light-eyed women.
Okay, now I can kind of see it. I don't think I would have recognized Sophie S, but now I can kind of see Shannon's eyes on that one. Yeah, okay.
I can for sure see Shannon's eyes. This is horrifying. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Well, we've kept things nice and close here as we go into our next person.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
Oh, what? But
Oh my
is that what
God.
Rizzo's face looked like? Is his face always that smushed? I don't remember it being so smushed.
Yeah, so let me
What
describe this to people. So this is Rizzo's body, but it kind of looks like if the center of his face was a black hole and it was just kind of loosely sucking all of his facial features into the center.
I
of
hate
it.
this.
It looks like a concave face, which is very rare in humans.
It's got kind of like a Beetlejuice quality to it.
Yeah, like a shrunken head.
Yes. Yeah.
What a cruel thing to do to our friend Riz God. Okay. I don't know. My confidence is shot.
You got
Where are the
rock to your
beards?
core.
I want a beard again. I need to see a beard.
I know the beards are gone.
I miss the beard.
You reminisce on those good old bearded days when things were so easy. Now you're talking about the person who's with the squished face without a clue in the world.
I just don't know whose mouth. The purport. Like, I'm trying to isolate individual features, but I just can't help but look at.
He also
like, the
looks like a
whole face.
little Voldemorty. Like if you really blur your eyes, because the nose is so small.
Yeah.
It looks like he doesn't have any at all.
Yeah,
He
like
also
there's
looks like
no
he got also prominently botched too. I know there's a lot of imagery
correct.
going around for just the audio only listeners out there, but it is truly
Mhm.
indescribable.
Mhm.
I don't know why you would only audio listen to this. I think you need to be here in the trenches with us, y'all.
All right. Well, Liana, tough sledding here. Let's see if you made it to the bottom of the hill. Who did you guess?
Okay. I do think that the eyes, well, I don't want to say it. I'm just going to I'm just going to say the names for fear. I'm going to say Sophie S and Alex. Those are the two I had written down.
Sophie S. and Alex. Okay.
Yeah.
Stephanie, what about you?
Bro, I'm literally just listing out who still you haven't done yet, and then I'm just going from there.
Okay.
I'm going Jeremiah and MC because they're the first two on my list.
Jeremiah and
Perfect. I love the
MC.
logic.
Well, I can say that the eyes are from Mr. Alex Moore. So, Liana, that gets you
Okay.
at least 1 point.
Nice job.
The mouth is of a man by the name of Jason.
Oh, Jason. How quickly we forget. Poor
Quickly we
Jason.
forget him and his iconic mouth.
Yes. That was the most notable thing about him.
Not his iconic mouth.
All right, so let's get this
Okay.
guy out of
Okay.
here.
Uh-oh.
All right.
All
All
right,
right, boy, smush face.
let's keep it going here. Oh God, which
This is so hard.
which one do
I
I
hate
go with?
this
There's
game.
really
Oh,
it's
no.
it's only getting worse from here.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna save the ones that make me laugh. No, this one makes me laugh too. It's an embarrassment of riches here. Let's bring up the next one.
Oh!
No. 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 Absolutely.
Who?
Michael.
I love this game so much. I love it so much. Okay, so this is Steven's
Oh my
body.
God.
This is not Steven's face.
Oh, is it not? I
Oh,
wasn't sure.
really? That's
I
not what
wasn't
Steven
sure.
looks like?
I know.
You could
Yeah,
fool me.
Listen, if people are face blind, this could really we could gaslight the hell out of them right now. Like, no, this is what Steven always looked like. No, this
Yeah.
more so kind of looks like, I don't know, like if someone who, I mean, the face is like a little smushed down and a little pushed to the left, our left, that it kind of looks like, again, another form of botched plastic surgery. We have another example of a 6 or a several head here. And we have like an attempt at an arched eyebrow. It's as if someone tried to get a brow lift but could only afford half of it, and so walked out looking like this.
Just some uneven Botox is all it is.
Mhm.
Okay.
All right, Liana, what do you
Yeah.
got?
So while the initial whole thing was terrifying, I do think I know this one. I think it's Jeremiah and MC.
Okay, Jeremiah and MC. What about you, Steph?
I have the same.
That is correct. It is the eyes, the
go.
Jeremiah's, and the
Jeremiah's.
mouth of MC.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's right.
Mhm.
And listen, I guess,
my
yeah,
God.
Jason, Steven and MC should only work together in a platonic way, because if they ever did, and Jeremiah somehow got a hand in there, this is what would result. The genes are strong.
Jesus.
Genes
Ugh.
are strong.
Yep.
Okay. Well, oh boy. Okay, well, I have a bearded one and I have a not bearded one. Which one would you rather start with?
Suggesting Ponderosa threesomes right now is absolutely killing me.
This is
Like,
a test, you know? All right,
threesomes
would you
and
rather
misogyny. All right, let's do the last one. I think
you
I
want
have it.
beard
Just by...
or no beard?
What?
I have a bearded one and I have a not bearded one.
How do you have two? There should
I
only
have
be
two,
one
I have
left.
two left, yes.
How?
Well, people have eyes and a mouth.
All right, so you can pick. I'll let you pick your poison here. Would you rather start with the bearded picture, give yourself an easier lift, or the not bearded picture?
No
I will
beard.
say they are both equally
let's go
horrifying.
hard. Let's go hard. No
Mhm.
beard. Let's save the easy for the end.
Okay. Well, we'll begin with the beard. We end with the beard. But for now,
Hmm.
here's your next one.
Oh my god.
Oh. Why is the mouth so tiny? Like Fabio in an alternative universe.
Oh my god, I'm crying.
That's the thing is that like okay,
funny.
like without saying too much, like this is very clearly a man's face on poor Sage's body, and it looks like when they Photoshop like Nigel Thornberry onto a bunch of Pokemon. That's honestly the weirdest first comparison that comes to mind for me of just how discordant this image is.
But like for some reason it looks like a U.S. Congressperson. Do you know what I mean? Like if you cut its hair off, like it looks like the congressman from Montana. You know, like it just does.
Yeah. Janaid's boss.
Oh my god. Why is the mouth like that?
Whose mouth is that? It's so tiny. Why is it so tiny? I can't like. Okay, let me just try to look at it without the.
Also, like
Put your hands up.
Yeah, I'm
it's
trying to.
so tiny over and over.
Yeah,
again.
that's
It's
what,
so
like,
funny.
That's what, because I want to see the mouth, because I can't, like, all I see is tiny mouth, and I'm like, who's tiny mouth? No one's tiny mouth that I remember on this season.
Okay.
All right. Seems like we're grasping for straws here, but let's see what straws we are a grasping. Liana, start with you. Who do you think the other two people are behind this incredible face?
I said Steven and Rizzo.
Steven and Rizzo. Okay.
Yeah.
Steph.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
What do you think, Steph?
Jake and Rizzo?
Okay. I will say you both split the baby here.
Oh!
It is Jake's eyes and it is Steven's mouth.
Steven's mouth. I thought it was Steven's eyes. Steven's mouth is not that tiny.
I think it's just the way it's proportionized in his cast photo.
Oh, okay.
This one was on hard mode.
Let's not spread the tiny mouth Steven slander here. Okay. Well,
I mean, that's what I heard. He's got a tiny mouth.
So Liana is exactly 2 points ahead from my calculation. So she will have had to blank this final one, which is not possible because it's a beard. Unless you don't remember the people who have beards, but we're gonna guess it just for the fun of it. Saving perhaps one of the most interesting for last. Here we go.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, I mean this looks like
actually looks like the centaur from Harry Potter.
It does. It has a little bit of like a forensic look to it, or like you painted like a fresco of Jesus Christ and it like got contorted in the sun, so parts of it are bulging a little bit. Because it is obviously Sophie B's body. It is a beard. And then the face, again, angles are not the friend of this game. Or maybe they are, considering how oddly proportioned everything is.
The more I look at it, the more I feel like it's like some sort of famous Renaissance painting. You know what I mean? Like, doesn't it? I feel like it should be hanging in an art museum. Yeah, or like this is like a artist rendition of Jesus from the 1600s or something. I don't know. Like
blind artist recreation, maybe.
I mean, she's fabulous.
No. Doesn't it look like? Do you remember when someone did that recreation of Jesus?
Yes.
And they like totally messed it up?
Yes.
That actually is kind of what this looks like.
That's what I'm saying. The painting restoration. This was the actual outcome, but it was so bad.
I don't know what this is, y'all.
All right.
I mean, in general, or because it is horrifying. I agree.
All right.
Okay.
Well,
I mean, it's obviously Sophie B.
Yes,
that part I got. That part I got for sure.
Yeah.
Is there like a Savannah in here?
A fantastic question. Well,
we haven't had any of her yet.
We have not.
She's not
had
the
any.
beard.
It is not the beard. That's
Nope.
true.
Not the beard.
Okay, all right, well, puzzle this out loud for us, Steph. So who are you guessing then? Give us your final locked-in answer for this game of the other two besides Sophie B.
So there's only 4 beards on the cast, right? Jawan, Nate, Matt. Does Jake have a little facial hair or no? He had like he had some bearding going
He had
on,
some
right?
stubble.
Mhm. Yeah.
In his cast
yeah.
photo. Are those my only 4 beards? Hold on. I have to go.
Mhm.
Jeremiah no beard. Jeremiah no
Oh,
beard.
Jeremiah no beard.
Oh, that's his nickname. That's what we call him.
Alex no beard. Jason no beard. Steven no beard. I forgot somebody. Right? I'm forgetting. We've got Rizzo no
Rizzo.
beard. That's the other 5 men.
Yeah.
Beardless.
Okay.
This doesn't look like Nate's beard. I think it's Jawan's beard.
Okay, and your other guess was Savannah?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, Liana?
I had the exact same too.
Well, you both ended on top because it was indeed Jawan's beard and Savannah's eyes. The two of them want to stay far away from each other in this game, and maybe this is the reason why, because this is
Exactly.
what results. And by the way, this is the image that the two of
Holy
you referenced just for comparison. I actually think it's fairly apt. Fairly
Right?
apt.
Wait, like actually, yeah, that's it.
It's like, I mean, basically the same.
Yeah, oh my
You
god.
can't tell
Wait a
me
second.
otherwise.
Hold on. I'm getting that on tape right now. Can you hold on?
You want me
a
to do like the eye
second?
test? Yeah, like, okay, we've got A, and we've
Hold
got
on.
Sophie B.
Okay, go back one more.
Okay, here we
Back
go.
to A.
We got that.
These are horrifying. These are
Corporate wants you to
truly,
find the
truly
difference between these
horrifying.
two photos.
Yeah.
All right. Well, listen, this was a very fantastic rendition of this. The two of you did incredibly well, but Liana did just a little bit better, as you are the victor of this game. But really, aren't we all the losers for having to now go to sleep with these images in our minds?
No, like actually horrifying. Horrifying.
Well, let's bring then some uplifting niceties to the end of this podcast. Chase away that literal ugliness from our heads. Because, of course, at the end of the B&B each and every week, we turn the spotlight over to our guest to highlight a charity or a cause that is important to them. Now, just to clarify, Steph, we're not referring to charity, the person on your season, but instead something that people can...
Also important to me.
Yes,
Also
exactly.
important to me.
Oh my God!
Aww.
Let's go.
Well,
Really?
besides, I guess, promoting the Apple agenda of, live reactions, what would you like to
know.
highlight for the listeners out there?
The iOS agenda. I have supported this previously. My mom passed away 7 weeks before I went to go play the game. Part of why she wound up as sick as she did, as young as she was she had ulcerative colitis. So I would ask the folks go support the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation if you've got the ability to.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you for
course.
coming on. This was so much fun. Liana can attest to this. The minute I came back from Fiji, I told her there was somebody who was so B&B coded that I wanted to have on. And so it was a matter of when, not if.
As long as that was all you said, you weren't like, oh, by the way.
It was all positives.
All positives. And you took those positives and ran with it today. This was such a great time getting your thoughts on everything going on with the season so far. This episode of submitting yourself for this House of Nightmares. Who's to say that Halloween can't start early with the amount of photos that we brought? But thank you so much, Stephanie Berger, for everything you brought to this podcast, as you do each and everything that you do.
Thanks, guys. It is such a pleasure to be here, and you guys rock. This was really, really fun. Minus the horror show at the end. Thank you for that.
Well, is there anything you'd like to plug out there? Would it be your social media, other appearances that you're doing, or anything else in general? Any good movies you're seeing or TV shows you're watching?
I just watched Pluribus. Have you guys seen Pluribus yet on Apple
Oh my
TV?
God. Did you like it?
Loved.
It's Vince Gilligan's. Oh, okay.
So
I
good.
can't wait. It's on my
Loved.
list.
It was great. And I also just saw Begonia, which I really liked.
Okay,
Here.
yeah.
I'll plug my Letterboxd. Go follow me at The Burger Face on Letterboxd. I see a movie a month, and I write something quippy about it. You can. People know where to find me. I'm Stephanie Berger Face on pretty much everything except for Twitter, which I'm just Steph Berger. But honestly, if you're listening to this, you probably already know who I am, and you've already made the decision as to whether you do or don't want to follow me, and that is A-okay.
Well, Liana, what's been going on with you this past week? Anything you'd like to plug?
Yeah, let's see. Puya and I did the Puya and Liana Lounge, just a general chatting episode, just hanging out, having a good time. Things have been crazy busy at work, so just trying to keep up with all that. And of course, Survivor in the meantime.
Were you plugging Survivor on a Survivor podcast?
Yeah.
Honestly,
Everyone, go watch
49
Survivor.
could use it.
I mean, just trying to keep the hype alive, guys, okay?
You know what? Actually, let's do that from now on. Can we make sure we end the podcast by plugging the show?
I mean,
Keep watching.
Even this season, though, they're like, there are still spots on 50. Guys, remember 50's coming. You just have to get through this horror and then you can get to 50. Like, even the show is like,
I can't believe we
okay?
didn't talk about
I know.
that.
Okay, wait. We're going to take some time at the end. Can we, like, hunker down? That was in retrospect, a really wild match, because it started with Jeff's, all right, we got to figure this Sophie thing out before you're officially merged. And then it ended with Jeff being like, well, let me dangle this in front of your face, people. Like, 1 million could be nice, but also we have some spots open.
Was that like him trying to make like, hey guys, you guys are playing really boring so far. So can you like kick it up and be interesting so we can cash you on 50? Like, was that the carrot, right? That he's like trying to stick in front of him?
Yeah, or the network was like, we want to make sure that there's someone from 49 on 50. So like, you let them know that that we're going to put someone from 49 on 50, whether they like it or not. So they better act right, right? Like, it's a real, what a strange, that is so strange. I found that to be such a weird thing to say. And also like, you're then like, it absolutely is going to impact gameplay. And you're also like, okay, and if I finish this at the end, I spend 2 weeks off and then 12 days, whatever the number of days is, and then I go film 50. Like, that is also scary. Like,
the thing for me is that I am not surprised it was said in the moment. I am surprised it made the edit.
They aired it.
Yeah.
Because then you have Sophie B being like, well, Jeff said we got to make this big move. And it's like, why are you indicating that like people are making moves, so not artificially, but almost like urged on by a different impulse than trying to make the best move for their game?
My only hypothesis is, again, Jeff's trying to remind us like, hey, I know you guys are sick of this season, but don't worry, 50's coming, so you should still stick with us. I don't know.
Making it into the edit, I think, Mike, you've got it dead to rights there, which is like, they didn't have to include it. It's a really interesting element to include. And I agree with you that it like pushes people to be like, act crazy so you get cast on 50, like,
it's almost like it's the apply to be on Survivor ad, but in the season, right? Of being like, you want to be on season 50, you gotta show us that you mean it.
Oh my god, wait, that was like, you just like that the theater kid in you just fully came right there.
Oh yeah. Well, listen, you can check out all of the great conversation I had with Nate this week. Really fun time. I love getting to talk with Nate more, and he gave, again, I think, a lot of perspectives as to his own journey. Talks about how he actually regretted not telling people about his MCU background at a certain point, just because he felt like he was withholding so much information that he couldn't really like open up to people in other ways. And who knows, there were a lot of Marvel fans on the cast. Maybe it would have helped, but I'll be intrigued to like hear from people like Jawad and Rizzo about that specifically. And then of course you can check out all the stuff going on with The Amazing Race, with the Reality Flash, so on and so forth. But of course, you should be sending us game ideas. If is any indication is what Sean provides us season in and season out. We love getting fantastic job, Sean. We love getting to spin your ideas into games that hopefully work, or sometimes they're more entertaining if they don't work on the podcast. This one absolutely did. So no idea is too stupid. Truly, rhapbnb@gmail.com, or use the hashtag rhapbnb on social media. Next week, we are, just when you thought it was safe to feel like this was a regular merge, no mergatory. Spoiler alert, we're splitting things up again. Now, from what I have been able to discern, it is not the double tribal council. It's instead doing like what we did with the Tiana vote, with like, the Matt Blankenship vote, where they're splitting them up, and I think one group's going to be immune, the other group goes to tribal council. There might be another wrinkle that's involved to just like zhuzh it up a little bit, but that is what we're involved in. So it might serve as maybe a saving grace for this trio now of Savannah and Rizzo and Sophie B, because they do look a little effed right now, even if Rizzo does have an idol. Though, again, Jeff T is that the theme of this season is ever-changing loyalties. So maybe we'll see someone turn on one of their allies just, unprompted next week. Only time will tell. But regardless of what happens, Liana and I will be back covering it all with another fantastic guest. Special thanks to the entire team behind the scenes at RHAP for packaging this podcast for your eyes and ears, and Will from America for his fantastic theme song, which even outshines the greatest Marvel themes in terms of iconic motifs. Next week, we'll be back covering whatever this split vote is as we continue through the back half of Survivor 49. Until next time, everybody, we'll check you out at your next stay.
This is RHAP. We know reality TV.